Hi, welcome back to another video from Ian's Garage. I've got a short video to do where I wanted to give my opinion and test out a product that I've never used before. It was very cheap repair, which claims to fix a blown head gasket. So there's a lot of these products on the market. This is by no means any kind of sponsored or paid for video or advert or anything. The one I went for, because it was the one available in the shop, is called Steel Seal. It was just under 40 quid including the VAT. It claims to be a simple pour and fix for any blown head gasket. Now if this actually works for 40 quid, it's going to be a right bargain. If it doesn't work, then it's it's a trial and error, it's a bit of a wasted time, but I'm going to try it and find out and let you know what I think of it. The car I'm going to use this Steel Seal on, I've got a 2008 Toyota Yaris that I took as a part exchange, part of a deal. So it's a cheap car. It's done 97,000 miles. It does appear to have been very well looked after. Lots of service history with it, Toyota receipts. So I think overall it's a good car, but the head gasket's got initial signs of going. If you're not familiar with what head gasket signs could be, I'll give you a few pointers as to what they could be now. This is something that anyone can use at any of these products, whether it's Steel Seal, K-Seal, any of the other ones. Really easy to use. There's on the back of here, it's got 3 steps. And it's really straightforward to use. I'll run through what they are. So number 1, ensure that your engine is cold and you remove the radiator cap. Not all cars will have a radiator cap, but if not, your reservoir where your water, coolant, antifreeze goes, just put it into there instead. It'll do the same job, but if not, into the radiator, and you pour 1 full bottle into your radiator with the engine cold. Number 2, turn your in-car heater fan up to maximum. So that's the maximum heat level and on the maximum setting for the blowing as well. And then you start your engine and let your vehicle warm up to temperature. Once the vehicle reaches its operating temperature, leave it running at idle for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, turn it off and allow the engine to cool completely. And then all you do once it's cool is top up with antifreeze water if necessary and replace the radiator cap. Third and final instruction is not really even an instruction. It says leave Steel Seal in your system and drive the vehicle as usual. So if it works, then that's got to be the cheapest and easiest fix in the world for a head gasket. Just for the sake of this video I'm doing on Steel Seal in this case, this is not in any way sponsored or any paid for advertising whatsoever by Steel Seal. There are other brands. I went in the shop actually and asked for K-Seal. No brand has sponsored this video. The Motor Factor shop had Steel Seal in. I thought I've not used any of them before, so I thought I would try this one out. They're about the same price, but this is a totally unbiased independent review. We'll see whether it works. The car has only just developed signs of head gasket failure, so it's not gone yet. It's starting to go. There'll be a leak somewhere in the gasket where the oil is mixing with the water. So as it's early stages, I'm hoping that this works, but we'll see. But yeah, it is a totally independent review, and I'll give you my honest opinion whether I think it works or not. One thing some of these brands do, I think this one does, but they claim, yeah, there you go, fixed or refunded. I don't know exactly how that works, but they obviously have faith in their own product. So anyway, I'll give it a go. Once the engine's cool, I'm going to put this in because it's been running for half an hour already, so I've got to wait for it to completely cool down. Then it will come back and follow the instructions. It's these simple 3 steps, and we'll find out if it works. Right, so I've opened the bonnet on the Yaris, and here is why I suspected the head gasket was going. It's one of the telltale signs. The oil filler cap, just unscrew it. Under here you'll see that kind of brown creamish kind of residue. When you get that in here or around the edges, the creamy residue, that shouldn't be there. It should just be the colour of oil normally. That is a telltale sign of the head gasket going. If you do buy a car, by the way, always check that under there, but when you take it for a test drive, check it again afterwards, because I know you will get some unscrupulous sellers. If they know the head gasket's going, they want to shift the car, so it's an expensive job, they will just wipe that cap out so it looks clean. So you come and look at the car, and I've seen many people do it. They come, they take the cap off, they have a look, yeah, it looks clean. What they don't do after a test drive is take the cap off again, so make sure you unscrew that engine oil cap. Don't open your coolant where this goes when the engine's warm, or the radiator cap, because the boiling water will just go everywhere, probably burn your face, and spit everywhere, you might end up with a burst pipe. But oil engine, so unscrew the cap, check if there's creamy residue, and make sure you do it after a test drive. So that's a telltale sign on this car, the head gasket is on its way out. That's why it's been losing a little bit of oil and water. So as soon as it's cooled down, I'm going to follow the instructions on the K-seal. We do have on here a radiator filler cap. There's the coolant reservoir, so if there wasn't a radiator filler cap, it can go straight into the coolant reservoir where you put your antifreeze and coolant. But in this case, it's going in there, straight into the radiator, full bottle, and then I'll follow the rest of the instructions, letting the car warm up, run at idle for 30 minutes, and we'll see what happens. And the way to tell whether it's worked is not only afterwards, whether this, after I've cleaned that creamy residue from out of there, whether that has actually gone, but I'll check if the car is still using any oil and losing any water, and then we should know, and I'll drive it around for a few days and report back on it then and see whether it has actually worked or not. So it's a week since I put the steel seal into the Yaris, followed all the instructions on there, let it fully cool down overnight, driven around in it locally for about a week, and in my opinion it's only partially worked. I say partially because the coolant leak has slowed right down. It's hardly losing any water, just very, very small amounts. But when I take the oil filler cap off, it's still got that creamy residue underneath, so it's still got signs of head gasket failure. And on this occasion the steel seal hasn't worked properly, it's just helped a little bit.